Welcome to the Real Film Nerds Podcast.
Good morrow, kiddos, and welcome to the Real Film Nerds Podcast. This week, for episode number 286, The Repeat, Mike and I chat again about a little film that came out on the old Amazons, directed by Mr. Ron Howard, based on real life 13 Lives. Mike, I will do my best to keep us on track since our recording yesterday got all screwed up. Shit happens. Technology is wonderful until it doesn't work. So besides your computer going to shit, how's life?
Oh, it's okay. I like this repeat. This time the everything will be a little bit more familiar.
Well, and the thing that'll be more interesting is I will try and get my good questions that I have for you out. So we had some great questions and I did for you. You had some great answers because this is just, we'll get into it, but this is just something I don't know a whole lot about because I'm not super interested in scuba diving. And for you, it's one of your biggest passions. So you can help guide us that don't want to be underwater breathing stuff we can't and explain how difficult this real life situation really was. Anyway, so Mike, let's go ahead and roll into it. We'll get into it as we start chatting. Mike, go ahead, give us a breakdown. 13 Lives. Ready, set, go.
Okay, Matt. Thanks for that intro. This movie was directed by Ron Howard and written by William Nicholson and Don McPherson. And this movie is starring Viggo Mortensen, Colin Farrell, Joel Edgerton, and Tom Bateman. And it's about a rescue mission is assembled in Thailand where a group of young boys and their soccer coach are trapped in a system of underground caves that are flooding.
All right, so those of you who are following along with the Real Film Nerds drinking game, I would say that's only one drink because Mike nailed every single name except for Joel Edgerton. It's Edgerton. But it's okay, man. It's okay. You got to just guess. Yeah, you got to roll with him. Because he's like one of those people that pronounces it differently than how it's spelled. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I'm just saying, take a drink. Mike, I know this subject matter, not so much the rescue. I mean, yeah, that's important. But the subject matter of scuba diving is very, very near and dear to your heart, as I was alluding to earlier. I'll be honest. I said it yesterday. I'm going to say it again. I would just die.
Yeah. I'm actually not sure I could do this kind of thing, Matt. I love scuba diving. Love it. Also, do not want to do cave diving because it kind of terrifies me, man. The claustrophobia, the just trying to squeeze into small places I don't think this is much of a spoiler, but a lot of cave diving, you can't even wear your tank on the back because there's not enough room. That's just that. I don't like that.
Well, Mike, as you know, one of the times you and I went on vacation together, yes, I go on vacation with my good friend Mike every now and then without his family. What's wrong with that? No, we are not lovers. Well, maybe we are. No, we're not. But we go on vacation together sometimes because you're my good friend. And we went snorkeling. And I had a hell of a time breathing out of my mouth, let alone trying not to breathe out of my nose. I would just die. I'm sorry. I would just die. But I do know they use them in this movie. They have the masks that are full face. I'd probably maybe survive through that, but not in a cave.
Yeah, they do have full face masks for scuba diving. Often they use those for, how you've seen on probably on Shark Week and stuff. They're where they can talk to each other. The only way you could talk to each other is if you have a full face mask and you can breathe air and talk and all that stuff because we need air to talk. And so they do have that, but not. It's much more expensive to have full face masks. And then also, why do you want to talk underwater?
Yeah, why not just enjoy it? Have your headphones on, have a little Slayer, maybe some Metallica going, as you're swimming. Right? That's how you do it, right?
No, usually don't have any headphones in. Although I have heard of They do something down in the Florida Keys, I think, with some sort of they put speakers and you can go diving or something. They have some sort of like
on
rock
the boat?
concert underwater for scuba divers or something. I don't know. I think it's like once a year.
That's weird. Hey, whatever works, make that cheddar. But, I don't have a problem with claustrophobia that I know of. I've had CT scans, I've had all that shit. I've never had an issue. But being the size that I am, for those of you who don't know, I'm a giant. I'm 6'4". I don't fit into small spaces very well, especially some cars. I've never had a fear of claustrophobia, but I think if you add water in there, I think it's a whole nother ball of wax. And I don't think that's just me. I think that's probably everybody. Because when the panic sets in and you need to breathe and you can't, oh, you're shit out of luck. You're dead.
Panic and water don't go well together.
So, okay, Mike, do you think it's weird that you and I go on vacation together sometimes? It's very rare. We don't do it like every year. We do it once every 4 or 5 years, but...
Yeah, no, I don't think it's weird, man. We're like hetero life mates.
We are pretty much hetero life mates. I mean, seriously, we're not joking. Like, my dad is the son. My dad says you're the son he always wanted. How fucked up is that?
Well, man, I think he says it in jest, but I think you take it seriously, so hopefully you're okay.
Mike, every single joke has some truth in it.
I guess there's some truth in that.
No, my dad's just a dick. But anyways, your parents love me too. I saw your dad recently. He came and saw the new baby, and your mom was supposed to be there too, but she was feeling a little under the weather, which is, things happen. But I got to see your dad, and he and I have some really good conversations. It's so weird not to keep jammering on off topics, but it's weird as you get older, like. Yeah, he was your dad, and you always had to respect him. And, I never called him by his first name. And now I'm like in my 40s, and we'll have like 2 and 3 hour long conversations about stuff that like I would talk to you about. It's kind of blows my mind. I don't know. Maybe it's just I'm old, and it blows my mind.
Yeah, man. I think it's just us getting older. I
don't know. I mean, not to blow smoke up your ass, but your mom and dad are pretty awesome. They really are.
Yeah, I like them.
I hope
I'm gonna
so.
go ahead and keep them.
You're gonna keep them. You're not gonna take them back to the parent store.
No. Just like I've decided to keep my son and daughter. The warranty has I think the warranty period has expired. So it's like, they used to do the year and you could bring it back, but now it's only like 30 days. They're so picky.
Well, I still think now you're at the option where you just have to sell them into slavery.
Oh, yeah, I guess I could do that.
Just take them, drop them off. Mexico's not that far.
Right.
It's so terrible. I'm going to hell for that one. Definitely. That was a bad joke.
Yeah. That was a bad one. Okay, Matt. Well, what are you drinking this fine morning, evening, afternoon?
So, Mike, do you need a drink after that terrible joke? Because I don't blame you if you do.
I think I do, Matt. I think I'm going to take a beautiful sip of this nice Goose Island IPA.
That's amazing. So this is so weird because I have to talk about it twice. But Mike, I'm celebrating because it's only August, and we have Sam Adams Oktoberfest is already here, and I already got a 12-pack. So this is going to be a good season. Hopefully, I'll be able to go through a couple 12s by the end. I need to just stock up, just get it, tuck it away. But I like to catch it when it's on sale.
Yeah, so we got some, but we got it at Costco, and we got a 28-pack.
28-pack?
Yeah, weird, huh?
That's very weird, because I've gotten it at Costco, but it was just 2 12s put together.
I don't know, man. It was 28. I was like, cool, because it was like $30.
Question. Do you shop at Costco a lot more now that you're a papa?
Answer, yes.
That was perfect. Oh, that was good. Sorry, man. I was channeling my inner Dwight.
that, that did sound like Dwight. I've actually seen all of Office Space now, so I know.
Office Space? I hope so. It's only a movie. You mean The Office.
Oh, The Office. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
And you've only watched it all once?
Yeah, only once.
How dare you? I've been through that bitch at least 3 or 4 times. At least. All right. Okay. All right, Mike. Let me get going to our next section. And now, yesterday, are you going to do the same joke as yesterday? Because I guessed it yesterday, and I did not know the joke. For those of you who know, I have to put it out there because I've never done that before. I guessed that son of a bitch right.
Yeah, man, I'm doing the same joke.
Okay, fine. Then I'm going to guess it again, and it'll be... Well, because I know the answer now. Son of a bitch. Mike, go ahead. What is today's really just incredible dad joke?
I got dad jokes. I don't think they understand, though. Gotta think I'm funny. Other people never laugh, though. Dad jokes.
All right, Matt. How do you row a boat full of puppies?
The doggy paddle.
Yes, with a doggy paddle.
Oh, with the doggy paddle. Okay, so I got it 75% right. But I
Yeah,
still got it right.
That's right.
Yeah, I guessed that shit yesterday. I'm 1 in like 3,700. But I still got
dude.
that one.
Hey, that's all it takes in lottery, right?
That's true in the lottery. That's all it takes in life too. Just that one time you slip up and then you're a father.
That one time you get lucky?
Yep. Then you're a father.
That's true. That one time.
Okay, Mike. All right. So let me get to...
So Matt, I guess it's not going well for you.
No, it's not. I'm lonely. So lonely. And I am 40, so I am the 40-year-old virgin, technically.
Well, you got the toys, man. I can see them.
Yeah, you damn right. With the same display cases, yeah, you're jealous. You're jealous. It's fine. I don't. Although he had a lot of old weird shit. I don't. I just have Star Wars.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true.
And I have some Marvel now. Just some, not a lot, just some.
Okay, all right, just some.
So speaking of Marvel, Mike, how does 13 Lives relate to the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Well, Matt, none of our main stars have been in a Marvel movie, although, we could totally see Vigo or Colin Farrell doing it. But anyway, they have not been in a Marvel movie, and I kind of had to dig around for this one a little bit, but I was able to find in the makeup department for this movie and for Thor Ragnarok was Katrina Enger.
Good job, Mike. But yeah, I could totally see Viggo Mortensen, or who I really, really could see being in the MCU is Joel Edgerton. I could see him doing something.
Oh yeah, he would fit the superhero type, or he could be a bad guy. I don't know. Sometimes the line's blurred too, so it could be a good guy, bad guy.
Well, dude, Colin Farrell was a bad guy, but not in the MCU.
Oh yeah. He was in was that Batman?
No, Daredevil with Ben Affleck.
Oh, the old. Oh
Yep.
man, I totally forgot about that.
He was
movie.
Bullseye.
It was terrible.
He was Bullseye. So Colin Farrell, kinda, but not. I mean, it was still Marvel, but it wasn't Marvel Cinematic Universe. So yeah, I could totally see Colin Farrell reprising his role as Bullseye, because I don't want to say he did good in that movie. That movie was trash. But he was entertaining in that movie. How's that?
Yeah, that's good. That was real nice. That was very PC of you, Matt.
You have to be nowadays, Mike. You have to be, except for, me telling you to sell your children into slavery.
Oh, gotta keep rubbing that one in.
God.
That's
Yeah.
the child trafficking. Yeah, all right.
Dude, you don't have to traffic them. You can just take them to one spot and be like, here, did you ever want a maid? Or here, did you ever want to have a white kid? Here you go.
Oh, jeez.
I'm just getting worse and worse. I need to stop. I'm spiraling.
Yeah.
I'm spiraling, Mike. Okay, I'm going to stop it. All right, so we're in 13 Lives. Spoiler discussion. I don't know if we really need a spoiler section because, I mean, this is a true life story. This happened in 2018. It wasn't that long ago. It was 4 years ago. These kids got trapped in a cave, and monsoons are a bitch. I know we got monsoons here. It's been brutal. Not at the fucking level that Thailand does, but it's been brutal.
Yeah, it's it happened to be that the monsoon struck a little early, and these kids, I guess everyone in the area knew that the cave floods when there's monsoons, but they didn't know the monsoons were coming, and well, we have ourselves the movie, and actually I remember watching it on TV a little bit because I was interested in the diving stuff, man.
Yeah, well, I talked about it a little bit. There was a documentary on this that came out about a year ago on Disney Plus. It's actually a part of National Geographic. It's done by a very, very famous photographer that I like by the name of Jimmy Chin. He's an outdoor man to outdoor man you can't believe. Like, his big thing is rock climbing and photographing and doing documentaries of rock climbers. He did Free Solo. I don't know him personally, but I follow him and I've interacted with him a little bit on the internets and things, being a photographer. But he did the documentary on this. It's called Rescue or The Rescue or something like that. So I want to watch that now that I've watched the dramatization of it. And because, I mean, they use real footage and they interview the real guys. I'm interested to see when the kids get older, they're going to have to be probably 18 or older when the kids actually talk about it. I don't know. They might talk about it in the documentary. I haven't seen.
Yeah, I don't know. But this movie was really highlighted just how hard and difficult a problem this was to just try and figure out.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, well, Elon Musk was even trying to throw money and suggestions at how to get the kids out, and no one could figure it out. And the main scuba diver guy, the old bitter guy, was like, well, he starts calling up fellow volunteer rescue divers that he's worked with and, likes, and one of them just happens to be an anesthesiologist, and he did that on purpose.
Yeah, man. And then he propositions him in like a pretty direct, I guess, way. He's like, what is it that you do professionally? It's like, man.
Yeah. Well, and then he was talking about how, I mean, it must have been a hell of a conflict. They had the Navy SEALs had their doctor back there. He got stuck back there because they ran out of air. So that was probably a good thing that they left a couple of the Navy SEALs behind once they got through, so they could sit there and help, take care of the boys and check on them and keep them encouraged and stuff. But, that's one of the more interesting parts. And I applaud Joel Edgerton because I think he did a fantastic job. I think it's one of the best performances of the film. He did not want to go against his Hippocratic oath because they didn't know if it was going to work, and the probability of the kids dying after, being sedated and being pulled through, or hell, even if he just guesses wrong on the amount to sedate him, it could just kill him. And that's against his Hippocratic oath, do no harm. But the head bitter diver guy goes, well, what chance do they have? I mean, we're going to either be pulling them out dead trying to save them, or we're going to be pull them out dead just as it is.
Yeah. The story's just so amazing, man. Like, I don't even think they reached them for like 10 days or something, which is nuts that they were alive, all of them.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I guess it's probably a good weight loss program.
Yeah. Is that the new diet?
Yeah.
The 13 lives.
13 lives trapped in a cave. Well, at least they had water. I mean, and I'm not talking about the water that like they were swimming through. Like, they had water leaking in from the monsoon rains that floods the cave. And, that's probably definitely more fresh than the water that, they're trapped behind.
Yeah. Yes, they had water, but, I guess if they didn't have water, they would have been goners, but.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
It was still pretty crazy. And then they just sat in the dark because it was like pitch black, so they could save their batteries for the flashlight.
Dude, that shit seriously probably would have driven me a little crazy. because that's like, well, but they had each other, and they had the coach. They had that one coach who he was, he's a kid too. He was probably in his 20s, but he did a lot of meditation and a lot of, work with the kids about it. And so they even talk about it in the movie. That's kind of what saved them, is taking their mind elsewhere and taking it off the situation and just meditating and controlling their breathing and not thinking about how hungry they were or how dark it is or how scared they were. I mean, that says a lot to the coach that helped, and also just the art of meditation.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I mean, you would have had to do something. Something would have had to be able to be mentally strong, to be able to take it that long. I mean, it's pretty brutal, dude. Like, it would be hard.
Yeah, there'd probably be a whole lot of crazy. So, all right, Mike, I wanted to do this earlier, but I forgot to do this earlier. So I'm going to do it now towards the end of the podcast. But for those of you who are frequent listeners, you will realize that we are getting a lot of giveaways, and we have yet another one. Now, we don't typically do TV shows, but Paramount asked us if we wanted in on this, and I said, hell yeah, because I like the show. I've watched it on Paramount Plus, but we are giving away Blu-ray copies of the Yellowstone prequel, 1883. Mike, have you even watched Yellowstone?
No, man, I haven't watched Yellowstone. I'm woefully behind. It's terrible.
How dare you, Mike? Because I know you were a big fan of The Sopranos, and Yellowstone is basically the Cowboy Sopranos with Kevin Costner.
And that sounds awesome.
Yeah, dude, you need to watch it. Now, 1883 is not like that. 1883, in my opinion, is more historically minded. It's not historically accurate. Like, it's a made-up story to the best of my knowledge, I know, and it's inspired by probably real events. But it's more about the wagon train and the traveling across the plains and traveling across country and just the trials and tribulations of going somewhere to settle. It follows the Dutton family as they eventually find the land in Montana and decide that that's where they're going to have their ranch. But season 1 is them, plugging away across the plains in the Midwest, and I liked it. It's very, very interesting.
Oh, all right, man. That's cool. Very cool.
Okay, Mike. So we've been doing this a couple weeks. I'm going to have you do it again. Mike, what should our listeners do to be entered in our contest to win a free copy of the first season of 1883?
Well, I think, Matt, with the subject matter, let's just go ahead and have our listeners send us like a modern Western movie, and let's define modern as like 1990s or newer.
All right, Mike, I like it. That's a good idea. That sounds great. Mike, what's a modern Western that you like?
Oh, man, Unforgiven.
Dude, you're quick to answer that shit. Sitting on the back of your head, huh?
Oh, yeah, no, like, it just, I remember that movie so vividly, and, like, it's still awesome. I've watched it several times after. I saw it in the theaters with my dad.
Nice.
When I was, like, 10 or 11.
Well, Unforgiven is fantastic. I'm a big fan of the Young Guns series, Young Guns 1 and 2. Emilio Estevez, man, at his peak. Lou Diamond Phillips at his peak. Kiefer Sutherland, the list goes on.
Well, Kiefer Sutherland, he's had many peaks. He's had peaks and valleys.
He's yeah, you're right. But I like me some good old Kiefer Sutherland. I mean, that was like, back in the Lost Boys days,
Yeah, for sure. That was before 24, though. I mean, 24 really got popular again.
Yeah, I didn't watch 24.
Okay, and that's all we have to say about that.
That's all I got to say about that. But okay, all right. I'd have a hard time picking one because, I mean, I've already named off 2. 310 to Yuma, I loved. I thought that was very, very good. But here, how's this, Mike? The Quick and the Dead, just because it was filmed like 30 minutes from our homes when we were growing up.
All right, man. Sharon Stone, Leonardo DiCaprio. Let's see, who else is in that?
Gene Hackman was the bad guy.
Gene Hackman, yeah, and
Russell Crowe.
Zeus.
Yeah, Russell Crowe was in it, and I like that movie. That was a lot of fun, and they filmed it at Mescal, the old Tucson studios. That's actually southeast of Tucson. It's closer to our hometown, and it's because Mescal's in the middle of like nowhere, and there's nothing around it, so you can do these big, wide, sweeping shots. They also filmed Tombstone there quite a bit. Tombstone is another great modern one. But you know what, Mike? I'm going to stop talking because we got to do this giveaway. So go ahead, take one of ours. You can send it in, but email us, Matt at realfilmnerds.com, Mike at realfilmnerds.com, or you can send it to both of us at nerds@realfilmnerds.com. Here's the business. Let's do it. Here we go. From visionary creator Taylor Sheridan comes 1883, a Yellowstone origin story, a prequel to television's #1 show, Yellowstone. Featuring a star-studded cast, including Academy Award nominee Sam Elliott, Tim McGraw, Faith Hill, and cameos from Academy Award winners Tom Hanks and Billy Bob Thornton. Dive deeper into the Dutton family's origin story with over 2 hours of behind-the-scenes bonus content, including never-before-seen featurettes with the cast and crew. 1883, a Yellowstone origin story, is currently available on DVD, Blu-ray, and digital on demand. Go ahead, check it out today. So go ahead, enter our contest, and you will get to check it out for free. How's that?
Man, that sounds great, man. I'm going to have to watch me some 1883.
Dude, it's good. And you're going to have to watch it on Paramount Plus, which I know you have a subscription to, but you'll have to watch it on there.
I do.
So, all right, Mike. We could talk about this. We could talk about Westerns forever. Overall, I really like 13 Lives. Ron Howard, incredible director. Acting was fantastic. Cinematography was great, but not in the way you think of cinematography. Technically, it was just amazing. How they got those tight shots in the tight caves and all that water. Just, wow, dude. Like, wow. It wasn't a beautiful film, but it was a technically beautiful film, if that makes sense.
Yeah, man, and I do appreciate the diving work that they did because it really brought, I think, the audience into the movie. And as someone who dives, I appreciated that it wasn't like crystal clear water and like it was showing like tight squeezes and all the different things that would be happening in this sort of situation, and even like surges from like the water coming rushing in, and like I don't know, I think they did a great job with that stuff. Probably was a big pain to film.
Mike, what's the longest dive you've ever done?
Probably like an hour and 15 or an hour and 30 minutes.
So this dive was, I think we were trying to figure it out. It's like 6 hours, I think, total. 8 hours total,
yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think it was 3 hours to the one, like to where the kids were, and then 3 hours back, right?
I don't know. I didn't look it up, but I just know that that's insane. Like, how do you even carry enough air?
Well, when you're doing shallow diving, you don't really use that much air. Without getting into too many technical details, when you go down and deeper, you use more air just because the air gets squeezed in the tank, so you breathe compressed air just because everything's getting pressurized.
Okay, so it's an altitude thing. So not being compressed, not being pressurized, the air was more readily available. Okay. But still, that was one of the concerns. I mean, the Navy SEALs go in there and they're not trained cave divers. They're trained responders in diving and doing all that stuff. They're more, I don't want to say generalists, but they can do a lot of shit. The guys that from Great Britain, like, that's all they do. Like, they're cave divers for fun and also for help. And so the Navy SEALs screwed up and they used up all their air by the time they got to the boys, several of them, and they had to, some of them stay. They didn't get to go back, and they had to stay with the boys and be taken out later.
Yeah, which totally could happen, Matt. Like, for instance, like a lot of the dive instructors that I have been diving with, they use very little air when they dive, and it's just because they're so used to it and like more efficient with like diving. And then like if you get excited or worried, right? You know, so like you're going through a cave and it's scary and you know, you can't see, you're following some rope.
Oh yeah, dude, they're panicking. Like I
Yeah,
would be. They might not be on the
breathe
outside,
more.
but internally they're panicking, and so they're breathing more, and especially probably heavier. So they're probably sucking it down twice as fast as they normally would.
Yeah, so those cave diver guys were used to conserving their air and just probably more used to diving in situations like that. So like it wasn't, I guess, as frightening or maybe not frightening at all to them. Maybe they're just like, oh, it's just another cave dive. You know, it sounded like they had been through a lot.
Oh yeah, it sounded like they were very seasoned. Even and what's funny is you might love this. You know the guy that Colin Farrell was playing? He's a IT support specialist. That's his day job.
Yeah. No, I love that.
I mean, they were just normal dudes. They're just normal dudes that love to do this stuff and love to help people and doing these rescues. I mean, it's amazing the outpouring of, you know, I don't know how else to describe it, but love and volunteerism to help these boys was just absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, you know, since we're in spoilers, I did like how like another like water engineer guy came and was like, hey, we've got to try and divert the water that's going into the cave from the top. And then like it was like kind of a side story in the movie, but it kept growing and growing. I really liked it though, like how everyone just kept helping and it just became bigger and bigger. And he's like, well, we got to move this water to the fields. And knew that he would kill the I think rice.
Yeah,
rice
I think it
fields,
was
right?
a rice crop. Yeah, it would kill that season's rice crop for literally all the farmers of that area. And they have it at the end. The government stepped in to help financially because that's how they live. But it was just that, I think that whole side story of the water engineer who's not Taiwanese. I've done that before. Not Taiwanese, Thai, because it's Thailand. Thai, but he was raised and went to college and raised in the United States, but still, you know, spoke Mandarin and all that. He spearheads the whole thing without even like asking. He just shows up and does it. And I think that whole side story is probably overlooked because I had no clue about it until I watched the film.
Yeah, and I thought that was really cool. It was just everybody was just trying to help out in the ways that they could. Of course, the water engineer guy's like, I can divert water, but you know, there's a lot of physicality to it, and you just saw more and more volunteers helping. It was really cool.
Well, and they were estimating it diverted something like 60 million gallons of water or something. That's insane, dude. If we got that much rain here in Arizona in a monsoon season, we'd all be freaking swimming. That's so much rain.
Dude, there would be no more Arizona, man.
That's crazy. That's so much
Be
water.
underwater.
And that was just what fell on the cave, on the mountain that had the cave. That's insane to me. Anyways.
Yeah, very, very crazy.
My suggestion, watch this movie, watch the documentary, especially if you have Amazon Prime, especially Disney Plus. Check it out. Well worth a watch. Mike, I'm going to go first. I give it 4 out of 5 reels.
All right, man. Yeah, I think I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 as well. I really like the aspects of the diving stuff, so it's probably like a little bit more up my alley for that. But you know, it was good storytelling. I know this is like based on a true story, so I'm sure there's some things that were dramatized or shortcutted or whatever. But man, it's still just an amazing story of everybody trying to come together to figure out a way to get these kids out, and it worked. Like getting them out by immobilizing them is just, whew, man, was that crazy?
Oh yeah, dude. Just blows my mind that they attempted it, let alone had no casualties. All 13 made it out. That's just amazing.
Yeah. Maggie and I watched this movie, Matt, and she was like, there's no way they could have pulled that off in the States.
Oh, I doubt it. Yeah,
Like,
I don't think they would have let them.
Without the parents knowing what was happening, like, no way they could have done that, where, like, the parents didn't get to, like, go with the kids and all the stuff.
Well, I think that was one of the smartest things that they did, because if they did have casualties, they don't want the parents acting out on national TV right there and freaking all the rest of them out. So by taking them, throwing them in helicopters and flying them to a hospital immediately, logistically, that makes a lot of sense. It really does.
No, it does, but it's still just, I just don't know if you could pull that kind of stuff off in the States.
I don't know, man. I don't know if they could have really pulled it off in Thailand, but they did, because they're a pretty free country as well. But it is quite a bit different than here.
Yeah, well, we just have lawyers and stuff, all kinds of, I mean, I know they do too, but, like, I just feel like sometimes when it comes to certain things, it's like we get in our own way. How about that?
Yeah, no, I understand. I understand what you're saying, but still, I think to save the kids, I think they probably would have done it. But I don't know. Or there'd be a shit ton of lawsuits afterwards.
Well, that for sure, no matter what.
Yeah. Yep. So, all right, Mike. So next week, I guess it's kind of my pick because I decided on it. There's not a whole lot coming out in the theaters. We both discussed it. I had you dig through my archive of movies that I have. And I think we settled on a fun one, even though I'm the one that threw it out first. And you just were like, yeah, that sounds like fun. Mike, this is a 1986 classic. We haven't done a legacy cast in a long time. I say, let's do it. It's going to be fun. Labor Day weekend. This is perfect Labor Day weekend movie. I'm sure it's available somewhere because it's so old. Mike, we're going to be reviewing and chatting about the incredible 1986 film directed by John Carpenter, Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, yeah, man. I can't wait because I just have a lot of love for this movie, and I don't know why it didn't do that well because it's a great movie. It's quirky. It's fun. It's just, it's got, I don't know. It's kind of a sci-fi kind of comedy. I don't know. It's got a lot of stuff. It touches on a lot of things.
Dude, it literally helped inspire one of the biggest video game franchises this world has ever seen, Mortal Kombat.
It did.
I mean, just, that's a testament right there on how much fun this movie is. So, anyways, all right, kiddos. Hit us up. Let us know about 1883. Send us your picks for what modern Westerns, and we'll throw you in the bucket of our random number generator to win a copy. Mike, get out there and do some scuba diving, even though your kids are in the way. I'm sorry. But yeah, I don't know. What else you got to add, old man?
Nothing. I'm excited to review Big Trouble in Little China for Labor Day weekend, and yeah, all right, man. I think that's it. So thanks for listening, everybody, and make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook or Meta or whatever it's called these days, and go out there, stream a movie, or watch a movie at the theater. I think, speaking of Labor Day, September 3rd? Yeah, 9/3. Most of the national theaters and probably lots of hometown ones are going to have $3 tickets. So go hit those up.
Yeah, it's, was it National Movie Theater Day or just National Movie Day?
I don't know. They made it up, but yeah, I think it's like National Movie Day or something like that. But doesn't matter, man. $3 tickets. Go hit up a movie.
And there's still some great movies out there. Like they did a extended cut of Spider-Man, No Way Home. That's in the theaters. Well, we have it here. I saw it the other day. I know Top Gun Maverick is still in the theaters. If you haven't seen that, dude, $3 is a steal to see that movie. Unless you entered our contest last week and won a free copy.
That's true.
Then you got it for free. But still, that's one that you have to see on the big screen, man. Just amazing. But yeah, hit up your theaters. Keep them going, man. I don't want them to go away either.
Yeah, $3. Like Cinemark, one of the theaters that I frequent often, has $3 movies, but then they have $3 everything. So $3 popcorn, $3 soda, $3 candy. So that's really cool.
Dude, that's a steal.
Yeah, at the theater. Anyway, all right, everybody, thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on the next spot.
Thank you for listening to The Real Film Nerds. Now, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Real Film Nerds. Now, go out and catch a movie.
He's here, the one, the only son of Ma Henshaw. Matt Henshaw from the Real Film Nerds podcast on Magic 99.1. You are her only legit son, though, right?
As far as I know.
Yeah, I mean, she has some son-in-laws or one son-in-law.
She is, I don't know.
It doesn't matter. Hi there, Matt. How are you?
I mean, you're going to have to ask her next time she comes in. Maybe she has like a secret family she still hasn't told us about it.
We'll ask her when we call her coming up.
So, yeah, I would think we should. I think we should.
Okay, very good. You're here to talk about the movies, not your family dynamics.
No, we would be here all day.
I know, right? And today we're talking about 13 Lives, the Amazon thriller. What'd you think?
I guess you would call it a thriller. Yeah.
Yeah.
The original. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
I liked it. It was Ron Howard,
Directed.
infamous director.
Right?
Apollo 13, among many, many other films.
Well, he's Richie Cunningham. I know. We all know who he is.
Well, yeah, that's right. I need to go back and
Yeah.
and say, Richie Cunningham from Happy Days.
Right.
Not the infamous director.
Right.
Because that's what people would understand him as.
Yeah, people my age anyway.
I didn't want to say it. You said it. You said it.
Okay, this
not
is
me.
based on a real life story. These
Yes.
kids got stuck in a cave in Thailand and they were exploring, right? And then the tide came in. Is that how it goes down? I mean, that's what I'm picturing.
It was 2018.
Okay.
So not that long ago. I
Right.
remember watching it on the
Me
news.
too.
Being riveted like the rest of the world, not just the country, but the world.
Right.
So it was a soccer team, and how they portrayed in the film, I haven't watched the actual documentary yet because there is a documentary on it as well that
Okay.
came out a year ago on Disney Plus. I'm going to watch that when I have time.
Right.
Maybe, next 20 years sometime.
Right.
Anyways, they were doing soccer practice, and it was one of the kids' birthdays, and they liked going caving in this famous large cave that they have near their practice facility, at least
Okay.
is what it looked like.
Okay.
They went up there to do some caving for his birthday, and the monsoon rains came out of nowhere, and they came really early. And when it monsoons over there in Thailand, it doesn't stop for weeks, if not months on end.
Right.
And it rained so much within that one day of them going in the cave, they couldn't get back
They
out.
couldn't even swim out, huh?
Nope.
Yeah, okay. And then eventually they get rescued. I mean, not
Yes.
to spoil the story, but it was a true story.
All 13 of them lived.
Yeah.
There was one casualty. There's
One of the
probably more than
rescuers,
that.
wasn't it?
Yeah, because there was a rescuer that passed later after the rescue was completed. But yeah, it was one of the Taiwanese, not Taiwanese, that's different country. Thai. I knew I was going to do that.
It's
Gosh
okay.
dang it.
I didn't
It was-
say anything.
It was one of the Thai Navy SEALs, and he drowned trying to get to the boys at one of the attempts.
Yes, very sad. Well, it got 87 on Rotten Tomatoes. 86% of Google users liked this movie. How about you?
I liked it. I liked it a lot. The cinematography isn't anything super special, as in beauty wise,
Right.
but how do I phrase it? The technical aspects are just out of this world because there's so much underwater in tight, cramped little spaces. I mean, I think the acting was great. The accents were a little, but is what it is. I loved it. I give it a 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5 reels. Very good. Let's see what your mother, Ma Henshaw, thinks coming up on Magic 99.1. Good morning, Ma Henshaw. Matt and Lisa calling on Magic 99.1. What are you doing in Carefree?
Well, we have a new grandbaby.
That's
and
right. Are you
we've been
visiting?
rocking and shopping.
How's that little baby doing?
Really, really good, except she's a night owl like Grandma.
Oh, well, that works well for you, not so much for Mom.
No.
Well, bless your heart. Give her a little squeeze for me, okay?
Oh, I will. She's a doll.
Fab. I'm sure she is. Just looking at Matt, how could she not be a doll?
Wait.
Oh, too true.
All right, Ma, tell us, what'd you think about 13 Lives?
I thought it was fantastic. I think everyone should watch it, even those people who watch the news. I think this really explained what those Navy SEALs and what the people had to go through to save those children.
Yes, yes. And ultimately they did, which is great news. I haven't watched it yet, but I do remember following it in the news, and we all held our breaths for those kids.
Yes, and I just did not realize what they had to do to have them breathe, it's just unbelievable. It conveys the distances those swimmers had to go to get to where they were. I mean, Ron Howard did a great job. It wasn't a documentary, but it was like a documentary. It was really, really good.
Excellent. Tell me, were there any snoozes?
None.
None. Wow. Okay. Kept you wide awake. How many cookies you going to give it?
I'm giving it 5.
5 out of 5.
Wow.
That's amazing. Have you given any other movies 5?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Oh, no, I'm pretty sure she has. At least 1 or 2 where there's male nudity.
Oh, that's right. Was there any nudity in this movie,
Top
Ma?
Gun, maybe. Yeah, Top Gun, I
think
would.
so.
Top Gun, she says. Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, what a great review, Ma. You go take good care of that grandbaby for me, and we'll chat with you next week.
Thank you. Yes, we will be home next week.
Wonderful. Safe travels. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
So what movie will you review next week?
All right, so we're going to go back in time to
Okay.
a film from your generation.
Oh, thanks, Matt. What
You're
would that
welcome.
be? What would that be?
The 1986 classic
Yes.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, that's a great movie. Yeah.
So I figured you probably have seen that one.
Yeah, I've seen that
So
one.
we
I don't
haven't-
remember it, but I saw it.
Well, you know, that
It's been a
time
few
and that
years.
age, there was probably like, you know, some kind of substances involved at the theater and
I don't know what you're talking about. No,
what, you
but-
never snuck any drinks into the theaters?
No. Me?
Yes.
No. I don't even go to the theater. You know me, Matt.
Okay.
All right.
You know what? True.
We'll
True.
look forward to your review of Big Trouble in Little China next week. Check out the podcast. It's called The Real Film Nerds. Make Matt's day. Seriously, check it out. And you can catch him here next week on Magic 99.1. Thank you, Maddie.
Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome.